Live from your living room, it's AMF Comedy Spectacular! Featuring David Ross, Joe Eurell, Fizza Dasani, with musical guest Ben Pernick, and your host, Kevin Collier. Wow, thank you once again to the ghost of Don Pardo. I miss Don Pardo. He's one of those, like, I don't know anything about his personal life, but he was on Saturday Night Live and NBC for like longer than most of us will live, so that's pretty impressive. He had like that distinctive voice, and I always like can't help but think like what his home life was like. I like to think about, Thanksgiving is coming up. A lot of people like to gather. I like to imagine Thanksgiving at the Pardo household. I mean, does he just walk into the living room and say, "Live from the kitchen, it's Thursday night's dinner, featuring green beans, cranberry sauce in a can, pumpkin pie, a 12-pound turkey, with special guests, my son Steve, several grandchildren, Amy Poehler, Steve Martin, with musical guest U2. They couldn't make it, but you two grandchildren, go get Pappy a beer. And your host, my wife, Linda. Linda just looks at him like, really, Don? Do we have to do this every year? That's what I like to imagine. He was perfect for being an announcer, but like, just imagine if he had done any other job. Somebody was just talking about cops, like he's like, "You have the right to remain silent." They just start laughing, and it's like, "I said silent! Why aren't you taking me seriously?" That was a new tag for that one, so you're welcome. Been doing that one for a while because that's like my favorite impression. Whether it's good or not, I just like doing it. I miss Don Pardo. And I think it's like, I was sad when he died. I was sad when Leslie Nielsen died, but they were old. Like it's expected. Everybody dies, especially when they're old. It's more likely. I think the one that really surprised me, though, was a couple years ago when Hugh Hefner died, that like he actually died of old age. Like, who would have guessed the lifestyle that he lived, that no like diseases or anything took him, like no sexually transmitted diseases, anything like that. He just died of old age. Like, how badass is that? Yeah, it's always a tragedy, but that's just surprising to me. So it's been hard during these times of being home during the pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people aren't able to really do their jobs normally. Luckily for me, I've been working from home, but sometimes I need a little extra money, so I've been driving for Uber Eats, and it can get interesting. The other day, I made a delivery to a stripper at a strip club. And I think the weirdest part about the whole transaction is that she tipped me. Like, I'm trying to be like, wait, that's not how this works. So that was fun. I actually did just get a new job, so I mean, that is just such a strange thing during the pandemic. Like, I just really didn't want to be at this job anymore, and I finally found something starting in November, and I'm pretty excited about that. Nervous because I'm gonna have to go physically into an office for the first time in like 6 months, 7 months. I don't even know. I don't even remember what an office looks like. Like, what is even the protocol anymore? Like, I have to remember to like wear pants, shower, like not have sex with my coworkers. Like, I don't know. That's what I've been used to, you know, like that sounds weird, but I'm married. So, ladies, also, also sterile. So pretty exciting, but I do have a good credit score. So that's fine. That's for you, Fizzit. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So, starting a new job, and I think that the process of looking for a job is a strange one, wherever you're at in the process, because like if you've been unemployed for a while, it's rough. Like it's almost like panhandling at a certain point. You're like, I'll take anything. It could even be McDonald's. I just need to eat tonight, you know. But then like if you've been at a job for a long time and you're looking for a job, it's a bit like having an affair, right? Like you have to sneak behind your employer's back, take these secret phone calls, and like try to set up a meeting without your employer knowing about it. It's a really weird, dicey thing. And you're like, you know, somebody walks by and you're just like, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So that was funny. And like you're like trying to hide it, you know, being all sneaky. And then if you have an interview, right, it's kind of like you don't know how it really went. You thought it went well, but you're not really sure. And then it's like, do I call them? Do they call me? Do I wait 3 days? Was this just like a one night stand, or is this going to work out long term? And I think, you know, the awkward part is when you do accept another position, you basically have to break up with your employer. You have to go to your boss and say, look, it's been great. We've had some good times, but it's not you, it's me. It's me. Making more money, bitches. Really, that's usually what it is. You're like, peace. Like, you're not paying me enough to do all this crazy shit. So that's part of why I love doing comedy, because you know, you could just have fun with it. And you know, I thankfully have a job that I make money at and don't necessarily like, but I don't have to rely on this to make money. So I think that's why I enjoy it a little more, because it's just like a thing I do. But yeah, happy to be able to do this show, have an outlet, and you know, make people laugh and smile in a time where everything's shitty. So you know, I like to keep it vague as far as what AMF Comedy stands for, but I think tonight it's appropriate to say all motherfuckers vote. Comedy show. Just vote. Not just vote. Like don't vote for Trump specifically, but just vote. Like it's really important. What the fuck? Why are there undecided voters at this point? I was watching the news earlier and there's undecided voters. Like, how do you, like, who are you? Like, are you just like a blank slate of a person that you just don't have any leaning one way or another? Like, you're either an asshole or you're voting for Biden. But you could still be an asshole and vote for Biden. I don't care. Just do it. I'm just over all of it. I feel like part of doing this show, I'm always trying to come up with topical jokes, and it's like there's not a lack of topics in the news. Like every week, it's a new like slew of shitty things happening, but none of it's funny. It's just like super depressing. So I think tonight I was like, I could talk about you know, the fact that Mitch McConnell is now looking like his insides are coming out. His evil is just spreading to his hands. Or I could talk about the fact that the debate last night was a disaster, but none of us needed to watch it to know that. There's way too much going on in the news, and like most of it's bad. So you know, tonight I was just like, let's just go to the jokes. That always works. But we do have a great show for you guys tonight. Thank you if you're watching on Facebook. We do archive these on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, I have a few questions. Is America still a thing? I need to know. Is it still a thing? Is COVID gone? Did we get rid of it somehow? Did it magically disappear? Let me know in the comments. I'm just excited to bring you guys a great lineup on another Friday here. Little housekeeping for those that are keeping up. I am going to move this to a bi-weekly show instead of weekly. So our next show will be on November 6th, I believe. 2 weeks from now. You can look it up. You're smart. You're a smart cookie. I'm going to bring up our musical guest for the evening to start things off. Mr. Ben Pernick.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I think it's pretty funny you said McGonagall instead of McConnell. I'm like, what we really need is Hogwarts to maybe unleash some Sectum Sempra spell on McConnell
Right.
or something. Anyway,
Freudian slip there,
yeah,
I guess.
we need some magic.
It's one of those things that it's like, yeah, we all love Harry Potter, but we hate J.K. Rowling. So
yeah.
Do I want to reference it?
Oh, it's so conflicting. Yeah. So this is a song that I wrote about. I almost moved to one of those hippie towns, and I like this song's basically an ode to the hippie town I almost moved to. This quaint little new age town has made a whole new man out of me. Before I was so mainstream, but now I'm one with alternative society. I go to a Reiki master. Every ailment his energy flow can correct. The only thing it can cure is skepticism that it's all placebo effect. I buy the whole bar round of raw milk. They'll pay me back through barter trade. But I won't make any deals while Mercury's in retrograde. Welcome to granola world, where so many offbeat lives unfurl. This is my home truly. We go together like dreadlocks and patchouli. It really gets me high, the way they look me in the third eye. This drum circle's giving off good vibrations. Sigmund Freud would say, I have an aura fixation. I'm in a club for laughter yoga and loving kindness meditation. The moms bring their kids to chicken pox parties. They say it's safer than vaccination. My deodorant is chemical free, so it won't depress my armpits' natural sense. I can only make love at music festivals, so when I make love, it's intense. I'll camp out on that punchline. When my mom disinfected my kitchen, I held a funeral for the dead protozoa. I only buy food with ingredients I can't pronounce, so I won't eat quinoa. Namaste, granola world. I love to hula hoop and fire twirl. I hope my new friends are quirky, but you will love their Thanksgiving tofurkey. Every day's like summer camp, but with the Himalayan pink salt lamb. We want to fight materialism and greed. That's why whatever we earn, we spend it all on weed. So let's get higher and higher and higher. It's a whole new granola world. It's my oyster with eco-friendly pearls. My beard's adorned with flowers. I dance in the rain instead of taking showers. My chakra gemstones rock, but I'm just compensating for the size of my compost pile. We can change the world with the Dalai Lama quote, but we're not registered to vote. I know Green Party doesn't count. All right, well, that was the first one. It felt topical. Not all my songs are political, but this next one is, yeah, I tried to write a country song, you know, trying to get into that country mood. So this one's called Patriot Song. This is America, land of the free. Give me death or liberty. Can't take my guns, can't take my God-given rights. Can't trust the oppressive measures of Fauci, making me stay on my couch. It's why I still sneak out to meet up with different town folk every night. Cause we don't need no quarantine, that's tyranny and downright mean. We're perfectly fine to open up the town again. Because I'm not gonna live in fear. We got the China virus cure right here, straight from the mouth of our commander-in-chief and our best friend. Patriots, let's drink bleach, be a hero. It'll disinfect your insides and make you white as Ben Shapiro. FDA lies, we're skeptics. Spray Mr. Clean in the throat like it's chloroseptic. Take a swig, we'll send it back to COVID-0. Sunlight kills it, that's what they teach us. That's why we opened up the beaches. So invite your friends to a backyard rodeo. You just need UV light to kill it dead. Spend 3 hours a day in a tanning bed. That way your skin will get that presidential orange glow. Before escaping, clean your lungs, gargle Drano, then start vaping. We prayed, so we're already protected by God. Even if at first you feel sick, don't call 911. Doctors hate this one weird trick. That's why the kids have been COVID-19 free, because they ate Tide Pods. Patriots, let's drink bleach unless you're chicken. Can't spell hydroxychloroquine without Clorox. Well, I can't spell either one. It can get in your eyes and that's no fun. So stare directly into the sun and I guarantee you'll never see a hospital again. Country songs love key changes. Patriots, let's drink bleach and inject the Lysol syringe into your jugular. It instantly disinfects. Can't get pneumonia if you chase the bleach down with a shot of ammonia. We'll trigger the libs when we win a Darwin Award for our superior intellect. Get her done. I probably should give a disclaimer that do not follow that medical advice, and if you do, I'm not liable or something like that. All right, well, I got one more for you. Let's see, which one should I do? Let's do a song about this. So, yeah, I'm actually a rabbi's son, which is, yeah, it's pretty awkward doing comedy when you're a rabbi's son, and they're all like inspiring people and you're making dick jokes. But my dad wants me to use my comedy for good. So this song's an educational song about my humble faith. This song's called The Chosen People. Anti-Semitism needs to stop. It's due to a lack of education. We're so sick of the myths, the stereotypes, and the hateful accusations. It's a shame we can't all just get along and love our fellow man. See, if we were left alone, we'd finally complete our world domination plan. I wear a skull cap on my head to hide my devil horns. We control the media. We even have Ron Jeremy for porn. We have our own extremist fringe. They got fringes on their clothes. Like Toucan Sam, we get out of jams. We just follow our nose. Who fights with throwing stars of David? Our ninjas dressed in black. We'd be unkillable if not for our kryptonite, the anxiety attack. Our most potent chemical weapon is potato vodka smell. We put mind control chips in pork to keep the Gentiles under our spell. Oi, 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 ha, 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 ha. We got a Fort Knox of baby foreskin. It fuels our doomsday device. We never sold our souls because we couldn't jack up the price. We'll wait till after Shabbos to set the world on fire because you haggled over our bread prices and we hate Holocaust deniers. We'll turn all your toys to dreidels. We'll turn all your fish to gefilte. Our overlord is a Jewish mothership. She controls us using guilta. We'll go Jurassic and resurrect the carnivorous dinosaur. When we take over the world, we won't have Christmas anymore. Oi. Thank you. I also do bar mitzvahs. All right, that's my time. Thanks, everyone.
All right, Ben Pernick, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, it's always nice to have a little levity in your music, and taking advantage of being I don't know, I guess in Christianity they call it a pastor's kid, but a rabbi's kid is pretty similar, I guess.
In some ways.
It's like you have no choice but to rebel. I think that's just like you rebel hard. And you're like, music. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll make it silly. Thank you for that. That was great. All right. We are going to bring up our next guest, Mr. David Ross. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Kevin. Thank you for having me.
All right. So I noticed right away in your background, you have an advertisement for your podcast. Is that what I'm seeing?
Oh, it's just whatever.
Okay. What can you tell me about your podcast?
Well, it's called You're Doing a Great Job podcast, and it's about your job.
Okay, so you have people on just talking about what they do?
Oh yeah, I've had rap priests on. I've had truck drivers. I've had teachers, real estate agents. I've even had a few unemployed people on.
Okay. Any interesting insights you got from interviewing people like that I don't know were unexpected for you, or?
So my questions are all pretty much kind of, I ask pretty much the same questions. And one of the questions is, what's your favorite color? And surprisingly, a lot of people say blue.
Okay. He's noticing a trend there.
And then
all
I
right.
ask, is it all about the money? And then they're like, it's not all about the money. Well, one guy said it was all about the money, but,
So your informal surveys is what's happening.
Exactly.
I dig it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well,
you could be on it once you start your new job.
What about now? I can't go on now with my current job.
Yeah, you could. No problem. Anyone can. It's free. Okay. It's free.
I just want to make sure I'm not disqualified from being on your podcast.
Oh, no. Not at all. Not for a minute. Yeah.
All right. Well,
thanks for having me.
And so you're out in the Tucson area?
Yeah, Southern Arizona. Tucson, Arizona.
How'd you end up out there?
Yeah, an airplane.
Okay. And you told me earlier that you were like 17 when you moved. Was that like a rough time to transition to moving across the state?
No, it was perfect because I was just about to fail high school. And then I got into homeschooling, and I graduated from American homeschool, always.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think the teachers liked you or something? Yeah, a little bit of favoritism going for you?
Yeah, my mom, she was great.
Shout out to David's mom.
Actually, I don't know what happened, but yeah, no, top of my class.
All right. Well, I'm
I think
proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Are going through that right now. They're all, doing the virtual schooling. They're doing great, I hear.
Yeah, it's been a weird thing. I've got one kid at home doing school online, and my other kid's in preschool. So we were like, yeah, that didn't work. We tried it, but you try keeping a 4-year-old's attention on basically this here. Uh-huh. It doesn't quite work out. So now she's wearing a mask with the other 4-year-olds at school, and
I think we have a viewer.
She loves it. So
I think we have a viewer in his car driving.
Oh yeah, that's a shout out to my friend Tony. He's actually responsible for me starting comedy in the first place. He invited me to an open mic, and then he quit comedy, and I'm still trying. So
yeah.
But yeah,
you're
shout out to
doing great.
Tony.
I love it. I'm really enjoying this.
What's up?
You're doing
You guys
great.
are doing great. I'm gonna
Oh,
put the
okay.
phone down so no one.
I love that whenever you join this, you're always like on the road somewhere, and I just see like I'm always curious to see what's happening because your camera's moving all over the place. It's like we have a whole nother like story narrative going on outside of the show. Inside of the show, it's like a nice Inception kind of thing. You're driving right now. Yeah, just I hope you're just listening and not watching because I
That's
don't
how
want
I
to be
usually do
responsible.
that.
I'm gonna call it
both
right now.
hands are on
I
the
take no
both,
responsibility if you get in an accident.
both hands
But
are on
back
the
to
wheel.
David.
Both hands are on the wheel. That's how I usually do my Zoom comedy shows while I'm driving or something.
While driving. That is a multitask I am not willing to gamble with. I think Fizzo was talking about going back to live shows and how it's like not exactly safe, and you're like, well, there's 5 people here. Is this worth it? I can get COVID. But yeah, driving while doing a comedy show, that I don't know that I would attempt.
Well, I'll get it cracking here.
All right, yeah, go for it.
All right, cool. So, hey guys, my name is David Ross, like the discount clothing store. All right. So, my dryer, my washer machine broke. You know how they do that? The appliances in your home, how sometimes they just fall apart. So I was like, went out, got my tool bag, and I was getting it going, and I took a marker out of my tool bag and a piece of paper, and I wrote on the paper broken, and I used some duct tape and I glued it to the washer. So I fixed it with a broken sign. So you guys are probably wondering, like, hey, what's going on with this guy? He's missing half of his shirt. Well, the thing is, I'm ready for the vaccine. Sign me up. We gotta talk about it. So I got an email, the day before yesterday, and it was like, hey, come on down and get your vaccine, and you'll get $1,000. So I was like, I'm there. I'm ready. And then they started asking me all these questions, like what I wanted my last meal to be. And I was like, last meal? I'm just getting the vaccine. They were like, yeah, you want McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's? And I was like, I guess I'll get some nuggets from McDonald's. They might kill me before the vaccine does. I don't know. I just wrote that joke today, so that's a hot joke. I just cut this shirt today too. My wife's like, what are you doing cutting your shirt? And I'm like, well, it's for a joke. Thank you. So I got this. I went into the barber earlier, and I was like, hey, let me get that haircut. I need to get a job at Chuck E. Cheese. He nailed it. He got me. So I went in there, got that job, Chuck E. Cheese. I wanted to make pizzas and sweep and mop. Like, you see that mouse suit over there? Get in it. So I got in the mouse suit. Apparently I'm a good mouse. It was cool though. It came with perks. I got to be in a band. The Munchkins. Remember we were making a band? I was in the Munchkins. So yeah, that was great times. That's why I have this podcast. You're doing a great job, podcast, because I've had a lot of different jobs. I was a mouse. I was a landscaper. Any landscapers out there? Yeah, don't be shy. So I was the lawnmower pusher guy. I was pushing the lawnmower. I was the one that stayed, and then the weed eater guy was behind me, and he was going, and he zzz my leg half off, and I was like, oh, I turned around, I was like, oh, my leg, and I was like, what happened? And he was like, oh, a stick cut you. And I said, a stick cut my leg half off? And I was like, that stick say Black and Decker? That's what I told him. You know, Black and Decker, they make weed eaters. So I collect above ground pools. You know, the ones that you set up in your backyard or whatever, I collect. So really, that whole weed eater joke, it all really happened. But the thing about that joke is I really like making that sound. It's the favorite part of that joke. So I collect above ground pools. Like I have a lot of them. Yeah, and I put a weed eater, or I put a jet ski up in that thing, and I was like, I was doing donuts in the pool, circles. You know, the other night I was in the living room watching Finding Dory, and you know, it was the best part. Dora was about to find her mama, and my wife, she was in the kitchen. She was going, zzz, zzz, zzz. She was making a smoothie, and I'm like, hey, keep making a smoothie. I'm gonna make a good joke about this later. So no, yeah, I worked at Whipped Creams R Us, Starbucks, and I was making whipped cream, and I was like, zoom. Oh, no, whipped cream doesn't make that sound. If it did, I'd be making whipped cream right now. Yeah, I was using the bathroom earlier, and I was going zzz with the zipper. That's a lot of fun. So no, thanks. You know, thank you for having me on this show, Kevin. I haven't been doing much comedy. I haven't done any stand-up comedy for about 6 months, and it feels good to do some comedy. It feels like you know, I cut my shirt because I was so excited. Thank you, Kevin, for having me. And this is a lot of fun, and you're doing a great job. It's You're Doing a Great Job podcast, and I'm gonna make new episodes one day. Woo! Thank you. My AC is still coming on because it's still like real warm out here. So.
All right. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
I thank you, Kevin, for having me. I really started off strong, and then I kind of just fell off. So I should have did more COVID jokes. That was.
Well, you know, you said you hadn't done comedy in 6 months, so I'll give you a little slack on that. We're all just here. I didn't really ask you this, but like usually the first question I ask my guests is like literally, honestly, like, how are you? Like, because we're all having a hard time right now, I would imagine. I can't be the only one. So
You should say, how are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
See,
I'm a 4.
I'm doing a decent job, but I could be doing a great job if I added that nice little tip there. So thank you for that.
You're a 9. Thank you.
9.
No, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job, podcast. That's what it's all about. Thank you.
Did you just call me podcast? That's a new weird nickname that I got.
It's just
I am podcast. Why do you call that? I don't know. It's a thing. Just don't ask.
An entity.
All right. Well, we are going to keep going here. And we're going to bring up our next guest, Joe Eurell. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Hello, how are y'all doing?
Doing well. How are you? Like, honestly.
I'm alive.
You're alive.
I'm alive. I'm losing my I had a van and that's gonna be gone, so that's kind of sucks. But it's weird. It's weird. Right after quarantine started, like in mid-April, my wheelchair broke, and I was stuck in my room for like 5 weeks. and I was really kind of upset about it. But I was like, I was really surprised after 33 years of having cerebral palsy. Like, you would think I'd be better adjusted at not being able to move. Like, you would, but like, it was weird. I was like, who signed me up for quarantine premium? I don't like this. It got really dark though. It got really dark. I don't mean to give you all too much information, but I actually called the suicide helpline because I'm too crippled to do it myself. And
Is it weird that I thought when you were saying after 33 years of cerebral palsy that I was like, wait, are you like 35 or something? Like, did you contract this when you were like 3?
I'm 33.
Yeah, no, it was just like a very specific that you used. I was like, where's he going with this? Like,
yeah. It's not that I forgot how old I am. Like, I'm
just
not
trying to
old.
remind yourself. I get it.
Yeah, you would think 33 would be easy to remember, but no, it's weird. It's a really divisive time in America, and like I'm from a big family, and I'm the only left-wing person in my family, and recently some of my siblings blocked me, but not because of my politics, but because I dared speak against Papa John's Pizza. I've been saying stuff like, look, Papa John's is so bad that their delivery drivers tip the customers. And like, I also pointed out that Papa John's should advertise that their pizza tastes like the cardboard box it comes in. And I said, if I had to choose between the cure of cerebral palsy and to see Papa John's go out of business, I would gladly grow old in a wheelchair. But anyway, my siblings hit me up a couple weeks ago and they're like, hey, what's your problem with Papa John's? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just having a good time, talking trash on Papa John's because they suck. And they're like, I'm like, I don't know, why do you love Papa John's so much? And they're like, well, you must know. Sometimes Papa John's, it's the only positive association I have with my childhood. And I'm like, I didn't want to be rude, but I thought in my head, I'm like, you've lived a horrifying life. Because I'm like, what is your Papa John's, like your absentee father? And they got really upset. My brother and sister did. So, like later on, I saw my brother post a photo of him and his girlfriend and my sister, and he had this like split screen shot, and he said, enjoying some great pizza with my girlfriend and his sister, and they wound up having to block me because I commented. I just asked, which one's which? Oops. All right. And so my family blocked me, and that's funny. And it's funny because now when they don't talk to me and somebody asks them about me and they ask, why aren't you talking to your crippled brother who has a lower life expectancy? Like, why are you wasting time being angry at your brother? They'll be forced to say, he talked trash on Papa John's. And I'm not talking to my brother with a life-threatening disability because I'm sorry, I just look. Like,
That's amazing.
Papa John Shatner, number one, he's German. He's not Italian. What does he know about making pizza anyway? You know, like, first of all, that's suspect. And then second of all, like, he said last year, he goes, I ate 40 pizzas in 30 days. And I'm like, dude, that's a really weird way to say you got divorced. Like, dude, fuck God.
I was gonna ask you like specific questions about stuff, but this is more entertaining. So.
Sorry about that. But yeah.
No, it's all good.
So effectively, never mind being disabled, never mind not being able to leave the house, never mind my wheelchair probably going to be breaking again. My family has decided to abandon me in a vulnerable time because I shit on Papa John's. Like, I just find that really funny. You know what's funnier than that though is the other day I was in downtown Huntington Beach, enjoying IHOP during the fucking pandemic. Because look, they have a great breakfast sampler. They have a great sampler, and I love it. I put money on credit card. Or I buy food on the credit card so they can't repo
You
it.
know, if you go to IHOP between 2 to 10, you can get any of these entrees only for $6.
Oh, dude.
I've been going there for a little while.
It's good stuff. I'm an official ambassador with the internet.
I don't just have that thing just sitting next to me for no reason. I'm sorry.
Are you in IHOP right now, Tony? Tell us. You have to tell us.
I'm in my office, but I'm going to IHOP
Your office
tomorrow.
is in an IHOP?
Yeah.
that gives you international prestige if your office is in IHOP. But
Amazing.
I don't even have an office. I get paid by the government to be crippled, and I'm very good at my job. By the way, David,
Man, if I was gonna have like one specific question to you, I was just gonna ask you about your experience of being on Roast Battle on Comedy Central, but you can keep bullshitting if you want.
Well, the thing about that was crazy. I got really drunk that night. I had like an outer body experience because good situations freak me out, so I had to like drink and like eat fajitas until I could, enjoy it. But it was good stuff. That was a lot of fun. It's funny. The thing about that is, that was cool to do, but the real experience from that was getting to see what people say about you in the YouTube comments section.
Oh gosh.
Like that was my favorite part of that experience, because there was a guy from Ireland. Now I'm Irish or Irish American, or whatever, a flea or tick. Sorry, but I'm not gonna do like a jig or nothing, but I can't. I know river dance for me. No, but it's funny because this guy from Dublin, I forget the guy's name. I should remember it, but there was some guy from Ireland, from Dublin, and he was like, your man sucks. He should get out of the comedy business, and he'd have better luck at gambling. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So you're saying I suck at comedy? Fair enough. But you're saying you're wishing me luck at gambling. I'm like, okay, this is it, And I commented back because I'm petty and I have a lot of free time. I commented, I go, okay, man. Well, I go, I'll let Comedy Central know. I'll send my check back because you made it clear that, I suck. And so now I have to give the money back. But I commented that. And then like 2 hours later, I got a phone call on Facebook Messenger from some guy who sounded like, Conor McGregor. And he was like screaming at me. He's like, hey, fuck you, Joe Eurell. Fuck you. You're a disgrace to other people with cerebral palsy. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, sir, what's wrong with you? And then I found out he apparently had cerebral palsy, or that's what he said. I'm not sure if that's true because I called him out on that. I said, I don't believe you. Send me a picture of your hand. We all have the same hand. By the way, I'm suing White Claw because White Claw they named their drink after my arm, and I feel like they owe me some money, And anyway, so this guy kept like harassing me on Facebook Messenger from Dublin because he didn't like what I had to say in roast battle, and so I had somebody else get on the phone with a really deep voice and pretend to be my security guard. And he was like, your man sucks. Your man sucks. He's gonna die. Like, he's gonna die alone and crippled. I'm like, okay, you're not telling me anything new. Why are you wasting your time? And speaking of which, people ask me why I'm still single. People ask me why I'm still single. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe because I have the sex appeal of a moderately serious go-kart accident. That's probably why. No, but it's like, I've only had one girlfriend ever. She dumped me after 4 weeks 2 years ago. I'm not bitter. I don't think she was that into me. I think honestly she was just trying to get into heaven. I'm kidding, y'all. I'm kidding. There is no heaven. But how am I on time, Kevin?
I didn't even get started it, but you've been telling jokes this whole time, so if you're good, I'm good.
Okay, I'll just do 2 more minutes and then I'll,
Okay.
I like I said, I'm part Irish, part Native American, 100% alcoholic. I know I had it. I know I had the drinking problem. The other night I got so drunk I could barely walk, or I could barely stand up. And last week, or like last year, I got so wasted, you guys. I got so wasted I left my wheelchair at the bar. I don't even know how I got home. You guys, last week I got so intoxicated. I got so intoxicated that I started speaking normally. Yes, I don't have cerebral palsy. I just have a really deep Southern accent. It's horrible, but I just want to say I'll wrap up really quickly. I don't like being called disabled. I don't feel it's accurate. I was born in a wheelchair. My mother hates me, so if I've never been able, so how can I be disabled? I don't like handicap because I have great hair, and like, why would I be wearing a cap? I can't even hold it to beg for money, so handicap's out. I realize people, I like the word crippled. Nobody likes the word crippled, but I do. Nobody can tell me why though. Nobody can tell me why it's a bad word, but I know why. It's because it sounds like nipple, and Americans can't handle nipples, and it's too close. But I actually came up with a way to describe myself that's neither handicapped, disabled, or crippled. I call myself naturally lazy, because I wasn't trying to do shit anyway, But anyway, you know what? I'm gonna close on that because I've been talking too long, so I'll shut the fuck up.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being here, Joe. Thanks for chatting with us, and
Thank you.
it's been great to have you on. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Joe Eurell, everybody. Thank you to everyone watching on Facebook. We are going to continue this show here with our final guest of the evening.